couple months ago, you saw me on here and I was talking about the fact that the rates are not coming down, and specifically mortgage rates, like we had all kind of hoped. Now that the tariffs are in place, we can see that there's light at the end of the tunnel and kind of more of how this is playing out. What I mean by that is you see that the tariffs are now going to be bringing in money. You can see things, consumable goods in the country that are the prices are being raised. That means the federal government is going to have an influx of cash flow because of these tariffs. And that money is going to go to the treasury. What we're also seeing is that because of the raise in these prices, some stocks are taking a hit and the stock market is starting to drop. When that happens, there's always going to be somebody and some people that are going to sell their stocks, take a little bit of a loss, but that's going to cause money to go into banks because they're taking money out of the stock market, cashing that out, putting the money in their bank account. Okay, so what that is going to do is that's going to make more money that the banks have on hand, and ultimately they may transfer that to the treasury depending on how much they're supposed to have on hand or whatever. That's getting a little too deep, right? So basically, with an influx of money sitting in the treasury and sitting in banks, the banks are now going to pressure the Federal Reserve to lower rates so that they can lend that money. The federal government is going to want to lend the money sitting in the treasury because for both the banks and the treasury, it does no good whatsoever to be sitting there. They need to lend it out. They don't need it just sitting there doing nothing. So that's going to create a lot of pressure on the Federal Reserve to lower the federal rate so that banks can lower their rate so that people can buy cars, people can buy homes, so they can start lending out this money. And so while this is still a little bit of a long road, it's going to get better and probably in the shorter term than the longer.